Did you know that demons asked for forgiveness? Unimaginable, isn't it? Welcome to the story of the Nephilim. Before the Great Flood, when the earth was still young, a forbidden act took place, forever altering the course of history. In the beginning of time, when earth was still a pristine paradise, 200 powerful angels, known as the Watchers, descended from heaven. Led by Shemi-Haza and Azazel, these celestial beings abandoned their divine abode and landed on Mount Hermon, a sacred site that would become the scene of an event that would forever change the destiny of humanity. Their decision to leave the heavenly realm was not motivated by curiosity or a desire to observe humans, but rather by a dark and forbidden ambition to rule over the earth. These once glorious and imposing beings were now willing to defy divine laws in their quest for power and dominion over the world of men. The Nephilim, the fruit of the forbidden union between the fallen angels and the daughters of men, were beings of colossal stature and incomparable strength. Endowed with unfathomable evil, these giants roamed the earth, spreading terror and destruction wherever they went. Their presence was like a dark shadow that loomed over humanity, consuming the planet's resources and oppressing those who dared to challenge their tyranny. The Nephilim knew no bounds in their thirst for power and cruelty, transforming the earth into a battlefield where only pain and suffering reigned. In addition to their physical brutality, these evil beings also possessed forbidden knowledge, taught to them by the fallen angels. The art of war, astrology, occult secrets, and dark practices were passed on to the Nephilim, further corrupting humanity and sealing their dark fate along with that of the Watchers. The fallen angels, known as the Watchers, taught forbidden secrets to humanity, leading it into decadence and chaos. Through Azazel, one of the rebel leaders, men learned to forge weapons of war and armor, unlocking the secrets of metallurgy and warfare. Under the corrupting influence of the Watchers, human society sank into an abyss of violence and depravity. The quest for power and forbidden knowledge led to the downfall of many innocent souls, while the dark arts taught by the fallen angels spread like a plague across the earth. The corruption spread by the Watchers and their Nephilim descendants transformed the world into an unrecognizable place where evil reigned supreme and the light of goodness grew scarcer. Violence and corruption spread like an uncontrollable plague, tarnishing the purity of God's creation. The Nephilim, beings of immense strength and unfathomable evil, ruled the earth with an iron fist, oppressing defenseless humans and mercilessly consuming the planet's resources. Their dark shadows loomed over the once fertile lands, transforming them into dark realms where only fear reigned. The corrupting influence of the Watchers knew no bounds, and the forbidden secrets they taught humanity became a curse that plagued all of God's creation. Moral and spiritual decay spread like a cancer, leading to perdition those who succumbed to the forbidden teachings of the fallen angels. The world teetered on the brink, crying out for divine justice in the face of the Nephilim's oppression and relentless brutality. After years of decay and corruption caused by the Nephilim and the fallen angels, humanity had completely strayed from the path of righteousness. The earth was plunged into darkness, and the cries of the oppressed rose to the heavens like a cry of despair. Faced with so much evil, God decided to act to purify the creation that he loved so much. Amidst the darkness that covered the earth, a righteous man named Noah stood out like a light amidst the shadows. His unwavering faith and his blameless conduct caught the attention of the Almighty, who decided to preserve him and his family. Noah was chosen for a great mission to build an ark that would serve as a refuge during the impending flood. While the world around him succumbed to chaos and depravity, Noah dedicated himself tirelessly to building the vessel under divine guidance. Every plank, every nail, every detail of the ark was carefully planned by him, in obedience to the instructions received directly from God. The flood represented not only a catastrophic event of epic proportions, but also a symbol of renewal and hope for all humanity. While the waters of the flood cleansed the earth of the evil that had plagued it, the ark floated serenely atop the tumultuous waves, protecting Noah and his family from the divine wrath that was coming down upon a sinful world. Thus, Noah and the living beings under his protection were preserved to repopulate the earth after the cataclysm that marked the end of an age and the beginning of a new journey for redeemed humanity. As Noah worked tirelessly to build the ark, the fallen angels began to sense that something was about to happen. The sky seemed to announce a storm unlike any other, and the whispers of the wind carried omens of destruction. Desperate in the face of imminent divine punishment, some of the watchers tried to find a way to escape the approaching judgment. They gathered in secret and decided to beg for mercy. They sent messages through Enoch, the ancient prophet who had once walked with God, asking him to intercede on their behalf. But the divine answer was clear and unchanging. There would be no forgiveness for those who had corrupted creation. Their fate was sealed, and the flood would be only the beginning of their condemnation. Faced with this reality, despair took hold of the fallen angels. Some tried to flee to the ends of the earth, while others turned against each other in desperate conflict. But nothing could stop the divine judgment that was already approaching. The countdown to the destruction of the old age had begun, and the fate of the Nephilim and the Watchers was sealed. While Noah found redemption and was preserved through the flood, the Watchers faced a dark and unforgiving fate. Condemned for their rebellion and corruption, they were cast into an abyss of eternal darkness, where the light of hope would never again reach. The weight of their fall echoed throughout the depths of the earth, constantly reminding them of the price of divine disobedience. Plunged into unfathomable darkness, the fallen angels experienced an overwhelming loneliness, deprived of the divine presence they had once known. Their once powerful voices were now but whispers, lost in the vastness of the abyss, condemned to an eternal existence of torment and remorse. While Noah sailed safely through the cleansing waters of the flood, the Watchers faced a punishment that reflected the gravity of their transgression, forever separated from divine light and mercy. After being condemned to imprisonment in the depths of the earth, the once mighty and glorious Watchers faced the anguish of their imminent downfall. The weight of their rebellion against the divine consumed them, and the burden of their punishment was almost unbearable. Loneliness and despair became their most constant companions as they pondered the choices that had led them to this dark fate. Enoch, the intermediary between these fallen beings and the heavenly throne, felt within himself the agony that consumed those who had once been luminous guardians of the sky. The pleas of the Watchers echoed through the bowels of the earth, seeking a redemption that seemed ever more distant. Amid the oppressive darkness of their eternal prison, they longed for a glimpse of the divine light that had once enveloped them in glory. Yet the chains that bound them were made not only of heavenly iron, but also of the inexorable inevitability of their sentence. The forgiveness they so desperately sought seemed increasingly unattainable, while the shadow of their past continued to haunt them relentlessly. With the flood sweeping across the earth, the Nephilim were annihilated, their souls condemned to wander as wandering spirits, unable to find rest. The Watchers, in turn, received an even more terrible fate. They were chained and cast into an abyss of darkness, imprisoned until the day of the Great Judgment. Their attempt to seek forgiveness was in vain, for their transgressions had surpassed all limits. But even after the purification of the world, the dark influence of the fallen angels did not completely disappear. Their forbidden arts and teachings lingered on in hidden secrets, passed on by those who wished to revive their lost power. And their spirits, now wandering, became the demons that still haunt humanity. The history of the Nephilim and the Watchers teaches us that the unbridled desire for power and forbidden knowledge always exacts a price. The flood may have erased their physical existence, but their mark on the history of humanity still remains. And you, do you believe that the echoes of this dark era still influence us? Leave your comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more hidden stories from the past. The story of the Watchers, also known as the Fallen Angels, is a grim reminder of the fall of those who once held positions of honor in heaven. Their rebellion against divine authority and their quest for power resulted in their relentless and eternal punishment. The fate of the Watchers serves as a solemn warning to all creation. Pride and disobedience have devastating consequences. By defying God's plan and giving in to the temptation of pride, these heavenly beings lost not only their privileged position, but also their hope of redemption. May the story of the Watchers inspire us to reflect on our own choices and to always seek to follow the path of truth and humility before our Creator. If you enjoyed this exploration of mysterious biblical stories, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more content. Comment below what you thought. Thanks for watching. Stay strong in faith, seek wisdom, and remember that some stories are warnings not to be repeated.